Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to explain direct speech. Take a look. So direct speech is basically a dialogue. Okay. So whatever someone said to me, I am forwarding it to you word by word. Okay. So such a sentence or such a dialogue is a quote. So we use the term quote for the dialogue. Let's take an example and understand. John said, "Come to my birthday party tomorrow." So this is the dialogue, and who said this dialogue? John said this dialogue. Okay. So whenever we need to mention a dialogue or word by word thing, we do quotation mark. Now there are few rules for doing quotation marks. First of all, you should know that the dialogue itself, like "come to my birthday party," is a dialogue. For dialogue, we always begin with capital letter. Okay, and the dialogue itself is called a quote. Okay, this is a quote, and John said this dialogue. So, said is verb of speaking. So remember two things, quote and verb of speaking, because going forward I'll be using these two words more frequently. Verb of speaking and quote. So the dialogue is called the quote and said is the verb of speaking. Okay. So to do the quote, we always begin the quote with a capital letter. We separate the quote by comma. So after the verb of speaking, we will always put comma there. Okay, and for the quote we end it with a punctuation mark, and then we do the closing quotation mark. So it's the opening quotation mark and this is the closing quotation mark, and before the closing quotation mark we do a final punctuation there. Okay, I hope this point is clear. So John said, then we'll do a comma. So after verb of speaking we'll do a comma, opening quotation mark, to the dialogue, final punctuation, closing quotation mark. Okay, so direct speech is basically a dialogue, word by word explanation that someone said that I'm trying to forward it to someone else. Okay, now there are a few more examples. Let's take a look. The teacher said, "Please listen to me carefully." So please listen to me carefully is a quote. Said is verb of speaking. I separate the verb of speaking with comma, and then opening quotation mark, final punctuation, closing quotation mark. Okay, I hope the point is clear to you. Next example is Jayan shouted. So shouted is the verb of speaking. After verb of speaking we do a comma, then opening quotation mark. I cannot hear you what you're saying, final punctuation, and closing quotation mark. Okay, again there are two more examples. Mother asked, "Have you taken your medicine?" So this one is a question, so the punctuation mark will be a question mark, and after that we should do closing quotation mark. Okay, they cheered. Cheered is the verb of speaking. After the verb of speaking we will do comma. Okay, and then opening quotation mark, "Come on India." So exclamation mark is also a valid punctuation mark, and after that will come the closing quotation mark. Okay, these are the examples. In that you will see the quote comes at the end. First the person who is saying, we mention that, and then we do the quote. So these are the rules for the quotes that we do at the end of the sentence. Then there are few different rules for the quotes that we do in the beginning of the sentence. Let's take a look on them. If the quote comes in the beginning of the sentence, like in this, "Hurry up" is the quote and it's coming in the beginning, then we do the verb of speaking and the speaker. So "Hurry up," said John. So hurry up will come within quotes. The punctuation mark here is the exclamation mark, and then this is the verb of speaking, then June. Okay, the only difference is that this is coming in the beginning, and to separate this we won't be doing full stops. We don't do full stops when the quote comes in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, please listen to me carefully. So opening talking quotation mark, then you do comma, and then you do closing quotation mark, verb of speaking and the speaker. Getting? Please listen to me carefully. Comma. It is important. So you separate the quote with the verb of speaking by a comma, be it in the beginning or at the end of the sentence. I cannot hear you, comma. Okay, be careful with this comma, and then closing quotation mark, verb of speaking, shouted Jayant. One more example, have you taken your medicine? So final punctuation is a question mark here, for this is a question, and then close the quotation mark, verb of speaking, and mother is the speaker. Okay, so we'll always have a quote and verb of speaking plus the speaker. Okay, there's one more rule that you should notice, is that if the speaker is a pronoun, instead of writing mother, father, or teacher, whatever we did here, see John, teacher, Jayant, mother, they are the speakers. So instead of naming them directly, if we replace them with pronouns, so if we use he, she, or they, in case of pronoun, the verb of speaking will come after the pronoun. For example, are you happy? He asked. We won't do asked he. Before we were doing verb of speaking and then doing the speaker. Here in this case, we'll do he asked. Okay. She replied. We won't say replied she. She replied is the correct format. They exclaimed. Okay. So be extra careful when you use pronouns in place of your speaker, and for that you need to do verb of speaking after the pronoun. Okay, I hope this point is clear to you. In case you still have any doubt, we can always discuss. Be hardworking. Thank you so much.